Hi, it's Antonio. So I wanted to talk about this topic. Does NVC, does practicing, learning NVC resolve every conflict? If I have a conflict with a friend, with my partner, with a colleague, can I use the skills that I've learned that I've been practicing with NVC to resolve that? I think there's two parts to this answer. The first part being I might not be able to resolve every conflict. And I think this is something that I really want to be very authentic with. And I tell people at our workshops this: not everybody is interested in resolving conflicts. And if we go back to the beginning, the foundation of our NVC practice, everything we do to meet a need. So it might meet needs for somebody to stay in conflict. Sometimes people don't want to resolve a conflict because it works for them. And that might be strange to hear. Maybe it's even weird for me to say it. But I think that is very important to remember, because I might be trying to enter into a conversation with someone who doesn't really want to talk with me about resolving this. And so that part is very important. I might not be able to really work things out with somebody, like between myself and them. It just might not be what's in the cards. So that's the first thing that I really want to put out there, which is not everybody's interested in actually resolving conflicts. And in fact, sometimes not communicating, not having further communication with that person might be the best thing. Now, how do I get to that? It might be a process of mourning, of really sitting with the experience to mourn that this sucks, that I really would have loved to have been able to work things out with this person. And this is something that in our advanced workshops, we work on mourning. We are able to make space to mourn that we would have loved for this to have worked out. And that for me is almost a definition of mourning. It's sitting, it's being with my pain, accepting it, sitting next to my pain and understanding it. And really, in a way, leaning into that, not being overtaken by it, but leaning into it so that I can listen to it, understand it more. So that might be a way of how I get to that place of maybe I'm not going to talk to this person possibly. And that's a possibility. So that's a very important thing to really address with this matter. The other thing that's important to address is that even if, and I think this has happened several times for me with different people, different instances, different conversations, even if somebody doesn't want to necessarily talk with me, I can still experience connection. I can still experience connection without that person having to do something. And what I mean by that is, in the instance where somebody doesn't really want to talk with me to work something out, I can still understand that person and their needs. And I think that's very important to this practice, because the reason that I practice NVC is so that I can experience more connection, more understanding, more empathy, more compassion in my life. And so I want to be left with the experience of having some more understanding. So even in situations where there are abhorrent acts, behaviors that I really dislike, I can mourn what has happened. I can mourn, wow, I really, really do not like how this person communicated with me. I really don't like what they said. And I can mourn that. And I can also understand their needs. And so in a way, there is some resolution for me in that I can have more peace in my life and not stay with the experience of remorse, of anger, because I think those energies take up a lot more focus and a lot more of my attention. So I want to maybe put my attention more on being with my pain, being with my needs, sitting with my feelings, leaning into them for guidance to get me closer to understanding what it is that I would have loved to have experienced. Maybe I wanted to experience with this person some more communication, some more closeness, and that's not happening. And so to recap, this is maybe a two-part answer to this topic. The first part being, maybe some people don't really want to work things out with me. And the second part being that I want to be okay with that, because I still want to be able to have connection and understanding in my life. And I can still connect and understand that person. I can really connect to their needs. And so this is a reminder as to why I do NVC. I do it because I want to have that in my life. I want to experience the sense of peace in my heart, in my being. And that might not always translate into communicating with somebody. So I hope that this was helpful. Please like this video, share if you would like, and subscribe. Thanks. See you around.